I'll now look at some of the techniques of creating items using the draw items command and the set and get commands. And I'll use this drawing that we've been working on previously just to show what goes on with these commands. The draw command, draw properties, we can just pick a button here, and if I went R for rafter, set, all my values at the top have changed for that. If I go back there again, hit the letter B, roll it down to beam or ceiling joist or up back to beam, set, you can see it's now changed to beams. If I picked an item like this hip here, so if anything is selected when I do this, ceiling joist set, you can see that this has changed to the values for a ceiling joist. In this case, if I'm not making you too dizzy doing that, I'm going to get rid of all the text. So if I go to the get command, click, select the text, it's all there. Now if I need to right mouse click now to go to the command and delete, just removed all the text. I want to put all these items I've got here, just going right to left, picking up these items, hold the shift key down, right to left over the two on the left here. I've added those to the selection. You can notice I didn't touch any of the fascia lines. If I go to my pen now, draw properties, I'm just going to hit the number 1. I always have a layer 1 set. This has just bumped everything back to the background layer, or just to layer 1. I'll put that into the background in a moment once I've done a couple of other items. So one way we said we could highlight a couple of items and go to the draw properties, but also underneath draw properties is set item by selection. So if I pick on that, H for hip, hanger, just roll it down, hip, set, I can pick on the hips. And this has changed all these items to hips straight away. I could go back there again, or I might have items which I've drawn in here, endpoint, perpendicular. You know, these are all drawn as hips at the moment, but if you do that by mistake, no big deal, we can change it later on. So just putting a few items here, I might want these to be rafters. Just hit the wrong button. We all make mistakes. Set items by selection, R for rafter, set, and I can just keep going through and picking these items for whatever I need to do. Now if you draw anything like rafters, they should always be going from the ridge down to the fascia. So this is at 90 degrees, it's going the right way. If it was going the wrong way, we could pick all these items up and just flip them over. Now there's no flip command here that I can see. No, we can add the flip command to one of these toolbars and it would flip them all at once. If we right mouse click, the flip doesn't come up. It only comes up if you pick one item at a time. But if you here it is, flip. But if you add it to a toolbar, you can do multiple items. I'll just take these out. That was just to confuse you. So we always draw from the highest point down to the lowest point. So just going to pick these again, go to the pen, item 1, set, they're in the background. Now I want to put this into the background. If I use the background command now, which is background, if I pick on that now, it won't work because that is the current layer. So we need to choose a new current layer, and I'll just make it the fascia. So I can pick from the list here, or I could come to the set command, set fascia, and that set it as well. Going back a stage, if these items here was a hip, I had a number of items set as a hip, and I wanted to choose some others. The other way is to select them, and then I could go to the set command, click on the hip, and it makes everything else the same as that. So pick all those up, set, click on these lines here, done. Let's change it back to layer 1. I'll just hit the set again and click on the fascia. The fascia's there, background, click on it, This is now in the background. I cannot select these items. And now to draw new items in, draw, H for hip, set, single line command, E for endpoint, and I can just draw from the top down with the hips. Etc. I could now go to ridge, and draw along the ridge, doesn't matter which way the ridges go. Now I just hit the F4 key then to repeat the draw command, so I went straight back to the previous draw command I had, and you can keep doing this until you've trimmed over all of your commands. If you have an item where the layers have gone funny, well, you can always go override and it will force a new layer on what's there before. So if you brought through a layer from a previous drawing and it wasn't the same as yours, you could choose the item, tick on override, and go from there. The same as we could always put a prefix here as well. So if I went the number 1 now, I went set, you can see it's got 1 hips and valleys at the top. It's added that in. The same way as we can go to the insert layers command and add it in there. I'll just exit out of this for a moment so we can see all our layer values are all the same. There's just the one here and 1 hip and valley. So if I now go to insert layers, I could go 1 underscore run, and it has added all these 1 underscore layers. So that could be the first floor, it could be another set of items, and all the quantities will work on that as long as the settings here in the insert layers is set to 1 underscore. To take this off, I can just go delete, run, and the next time I go in there, it's just got the word none there. I skip over this and it's out as well, so it's skip or exit. And that's how to set things up to draw an item. You can either use the draw command, the set items by selection, or just the straight set command to do what you need to do.